Hi there, today we're unboxing a Wi-Fi security camera. So this particular one is by a company called Time2 and it's the Oscar2 model. Details are in the description below for anyone thinking of purchasing. So let's take a quick look around the packaging. So it comes nicely packaged with a picture of the actual camera. Some details here about the camera. So it's full HD 1080p, works with the Amazon Alexa as well. Some details there, protect and monitor the things you love and value. Come around here, showing that can be remotely viewed as well. If I come around here, who else is part of the clan? So they've got some other cameras as well, all named, and just some pictures here. Details at the bottom, some specifications. So it's a 2 megapixel camera and infrared distance is 10 meters and it's waterproof as well. So it can be installed outdoors. And it can support micro SD cards up to 128 gig on there. Just to note, Wi-Fi wise, it's only compatible with 2.4 gigahertz, not 5 gigahertz. So keep that in mind if you do purchase this. Okay, so let's open it up and see what you get in the packaging. Okay, so I've laid out all the items you get in the packaging, so let me quickly go through them one by one. So initially you've got a startup guide and all the details are in English in this. And looking through there initially, I did notice the app here is called Clan at Home, so that must be their own app. But looking at the pictures, it actually looks like Smart Life or Tuya app. So I might give it a go at trying it with Smart Life, see if that works. Okay, next we've got a piece of paper and multi-language on one side, and on the other side it's actually telling you they'll give 2 months additional warranty with the product if you activate it online, so register it. So by default you get 12 months, and obviously doing this you get another 2 months. Next you've got a piece of paper, one says happy, the other says not happy, and if you open it up, for the happy side it's saying tell your friends and family, leave us a review and sharing your experience on social media. And then if you're not happy, email them or contact them. So UK based number here, it's a UK based company as well, so here to help. Next you've got some fixtures, so 3 raw plugs and 3 screws, seems a reasonable quality. Then you've got a pin that's used for resetting the device. Okay, next you've got a power adapter, so DC connector on there. Should have been really micro SD or type C type connector, but obviously all to do with the power output. So if I come in here close, you can see it's actually 12 volts, 1000 milliamps, so hence why they've gone for a DC adapter. Cable length on this is about 1.1 meters and quality seemed reasonable. Okay, next the actual camera itself. I've already measured the cable. The cable quality is good, but the cable length is about 50 centimeters, and obviously you can see the DC connector on there. All plasticky, not too heavy in terms of weight, very light feel to it, and adjustable everywhere it seems. So if I go like that, you can adjust it. If I go like that, you can adjust it, and you can even adjust it on the end here. So very nice and flexible. You've got 3 mount holes here and a slight recess here for the cable to go through, and you can see there's a bit of, I think, glue or plastic just holding it in place. So obviously it's quite nice that it's like that, you know, nice and flexible. Lenses here, you've got 2-way audio with this device, so obviously the holes are here for that. You've got a rubber flap here, so if I can somehow just put my nails in, just pull it off just to show, and if I come in slightly closer, micro SD card slot here and a reset point is here, so you just put the pin in that slot and it resets the device, and that's it. So build quality seems reasonable, I have to admit, not too heavy, so quite a light fixture on there. Looks wise, a bit different from the norm, I have to admit. So it looks pretty cool, and you've got a slight cover over there obviously to protect it from rain or the sunlight. So if you've got it positioned like so, it will just drop off there. Okay, so in terms of size, let me just quickly mention that end to end you're saying about 13.5, and thickness wise you're saying about 5.5 to 6, I'd say 6 really, 6 centimeters. So reasonable size. and build quality seems okay, and all plasticky all the way around, just to note. Okay, so let's make a start at setting up this camera. So initially, let's put the micro SD card in. It doesn't come with one, so you've got to purchase it separately. Goes in like so, and the gap's quite tight, so just got to get your nail into position where you can just push it in, and then you feel it clip in. There you go, it's in now. And we'll just firmly put that into position so it's nice and sealed, so watertight finish on there. Okay, so the DC connector, take that, plug that in, and you can get an extension for this if you want. So the company did provide a 5-meter extension for me in case I needed to test it at a further distance. So just to note, that is available separately. Okay, next let's plug this in, and you can see a red light come on there. And let's take the lens cover off the top here. Okay, so let's make a start at setting up this camera. So in the instructions, it says to go to the Play Store. So on my Android phone, let me go there and let's search for Clan at Home. And it's that app there. So it's this one. So if I click install, and let's give it a moment to install. Okay, so now it's installed. Let's click open. Okay, so next we need to register an account. So if I click here, click agree, and let me enter in my details, and we'll continue after that. Okay, so I've registered my account and signed in, and this is what you're initially presented with. So let me click add home, and next we need to enter a name for our home. So I'm just going to type in home and click done to that. Okay, successfully added. Let's click complete, and this is what you're presented with. Okay, so now we're ready to add in the camera. So if I go to add device, and we can go to security and sensor, and we'll go for smart camera. And next we got to ensure there's a light flashing on the camera, and that's the light. So that means it's ready for a connection. So we'll click next. And we need to enter in our Wi-Fi password. So it's just stating that it only works on 2.4G. So if you have a 5G Wi-Fi router with Wi-Fi being broadcast on 5G, it's not going to work. So keep that in mind. Okay, so let me enter in my password next off camera. Okay, so I've entered my Wi-Fi password. Let's click confirm next. Okay, so need to show a QR code to the camera, and it's stating a distance. We should hold the actual phone to the camera. So it's saying at least 15 to 20 centimeters away. So let me click continue. And next I'm gonna present the QR code that's appeared on my phone to the camera. Okay, I've clicked, I've heard the beep, and now it's attempting to connect. So let's give it a moment. Okay, so there you go. It's added in as quickly as that. So if I click done, and there you go. Ready and connected now. Okay, so now the camera's added in. Let me go through the options you have available on there. So this is the initial screen you're presented with the camera showing there. And if you click on there, it will go straight in. There's no other options available on that setting. Now, just on this display, so if we start here in the corner, you can modify the name of the device. So at the moment it's called Oscar. You can share devices with other people. So you can add in their email address if they've got an account, and it will send them access to the camera. Device information, so that will be things like IP address details. Use Echo, so if I click on that, details on how to allow access via the Amazon Alexa. Next you've got basic functions. If I click on that, okay, the indicator light, you can turn that off. You can flip the image, and you can turn off the actual watermark on the picture. Okay, next you've got sound detection settings. So that's interesting. So if you have any noise in the background, it'll actually pick up on that and send you an alert. Okay, next you've got motion detection. So motion detection available on that as well, and 3 levels available. Okay, next you've got SD card settings. If I click on that, and it says please format the micro SD card. We'll just click confirm and just let it do that, because obviously we put a fresh one in just before we did the setup. Just give it a moment. Okay, so the micro SD card is now formatted, and you can see the total capacity, which is 58 gig. So let's go back from there. Okay, next you've got feedback and firmware information. Let's go on firmware. So there is a firmware update available. And going down, remove device. And that's all the options you have available here. Next, if we actually look on the screen here, you've got signal strength there on the corner, so 93%. If I click here, okay, so speaker comes on and you can hear. If I click there, so it goes from standard definition to high definition. If I turn it slightly, just so you can tell the difference. Okay, and if I click here, it will go into full screen. So you have a wider view on there, and just two options available here. Obviously, speaker and the microphone. Needs permission for the microphone. If I click allow, testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there you go. Let me cut that out. So it is two-way audio on this one. So pretty cool. Okay, next down below, you've got screenshot. So if I click that, needs access to device, try again, and there you go, save to phone gallery. No access to microphone. Let's try again. Okay, let's come out completely just for a moment, go back in. Sometimes apps need a quick restart just to try these things out. Okay, no access to microphone. Okay, interesting. Recording's working. And if we click on playback, let's give it a moment. There you go. You can select a date on there, and if I go back, you can record from there as well. And also if I stop that one, take a snapshot there. Pretty straightforward functions. And finally, you've got alarm here. So if I click on that, you can turn on motion detection alarm. And if I click, let's put on medium, give it a second, and then if I put my hand in front of it, there you go. Oscar has detected motion. If I drop down here, the alerts disappeared. So if I go back, click on here, message center, and there you go. There's the motion alert with a picture as well. So really cool functionality there. The fact you get a snapshot and you get alerted that there's been motion. So let's try that again without having the app on. See if I come out of it. Okay, so now let's try again. So if I go like that, give it a second, and there you go. Motion detection, Oscar has detected movement. So without the app on, obviously there's push notification coming to your phone. If I click on that, it takes you straight to there, and you can go on and you can see a snapshot hopefully. And there you go, there's the snapshot. If I click here, click to view, it jumps straight to the camera, and there you go, simple as that. Okay, so next, let's click here, go into sound detection settings, turn on sound detection, set it to high. Oh, straight away it's detected sound. Let's go back, let's give it a moment. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. And there you go. Oscar has detected sound. If I click on there, click there, and there you go. So if you go through it, you can have a combination of motion detection and sound detection. And if you click to view, it will take you straight to the camera so you can have a look. So quite useful functionality. So you could literally have it pointing outside your house onto your doorstep, for example, and if someone comes up to your doorstep, straight away you'll get a push notification. And if you wanted it slightly different, and say inside a porch area you had the camera, and if there was any noise detected or someone tried breaking in and obviously entered the porch area, you'll have two methods of alert, either the sound or the actual movement inside that area. So excellent functionality there. Okay, so next let's test out remote connectivity. So as you can see, I'm on my Wi-Fi network at the moment. If I drop that down, turn off Wi-Fi, give it a moment to connect on 4G, and it's connected. And if I now click on the camera, there you go, connect straight away, no issues there. Next, let me show you the actual lag time. So it's about a second. So obviously it's going over the cloud and via the internet coming back in again onto your phone. So interested to see that. Let me jump back on my Wi-Fi network. Let it come off 4G. So let's give it a second. There you go. It's back on Wi-Fi. Just a note, let's come out, go back in. That sometimes helps. Same sort of lag time on there. It's not too bad. You're about a second behind, you could say. So excellent to know. No need to open any ports on your router. Cloud-based login and connectivity is there straight away from day one. Okay, so next I wanted to demonstrate the two-way audio in here. So the reason it wasn't working is because I had the screen record on, and obviously that was grabbing sound from the microphone. So bringing my phone in close here, and if I now click speak, testing 1 2 3, testing. That's pretty good actually. And from some of the other cameras I've seen previously, it's not as loud as that generally. So interesting to see how much louder it is. So obviously it's an outdoor camera. You want a reasonable amount of noise coming out of the camera. Now, just to note, if you've got a lot of outdoor noise, as in traffic going past, etc., then obviously that will impact how much the person on the other side would hear. And just to keep in mind, you wouldn't want to keep it too far away. The further away it is, obviously, and if you're trying to communicate with the person, obviously there will be a limitation in how much they can hear. So just keep that in mind. So if you have high expectations of obviously having a conversation with someone as they're delivering something, keep that in mind. So let me show that again. So testing 1 2 3. So that is not too bad actually. If I turn that off, speaker comes on. So there you go. Works pretty well actually, the two-way audio. Okay, the next thing I wanted to show is the fact that the Wi-Fi camera actually can work with the Smart Life app or Tuya app. So I've got the Smart Life app here and I've already added it. Same way as you add on the Clan at Home app, you do it the same way on here. So I added it in, and just to note, it's slightly different how it works from the Clan at Home app because there's a little arrow here. If I click on that, it actually gives you a shortcut option to turn on motion detection or turn it off, and same with the sound detection. You can turn it off very quickly through this. So additional functionality available for this. And just to show it in action, if I click there, there you go, live picture on there, and I'll move the camera. There you go. Works pretty well, have to admit. Okay, so next I'm going to show how to set up this smart Wi-Fi camera with both the Amazon Alexa and the Google Home. So both products actually have their own variants on a device with a screen. So for the Amazon Alexa, it's the Spot device and the Show device. So both of them have screens and you should be able to, in theory, display it on there. And on the Google side, you've got the Google Home. So pretty straightforward. And I've only got the Google Home here, a Google Home Hub. So I'll only be able to demonstrate on that, but I'll show the concept for the Amazon Alexa. So let me briefly show it on the Amazon Alexa first. So the way to add it in, if I start the app up here, let's give it a moment. And we click here in the corner, click on Skills and Games, and we want to search for Smart Life. Okay, and there it is. If I click on that, and mine's currently enabled, that's why you see the option that says disable skill. So once you enable it, it'll prompt you to enter in your username and password for the Clan at Home app, or if you're using Smart Life, use those credentials. And once you've added it in, it will link in obviously with your account, and then what it will do, it'll allow you to obviously interact with the Alexa, the Echo Spot or the Echo Show. So you could say, Alexa, show me Oscar, and it should display it on the screen. Okay, so that's that one. If I come out of that now, let's give it a second. And next, let me talk you through how to set it up on the Google Home. So if I click on the Home app here, and we click in the corner here, click on settings, and then assistant, followed by home control, and then we click plus, and we want to look for the service called Smart Life. So I've already added it on here as well, but if you haven't got it added, obviously you select it, it'll prompt you again for username and password, you enter it in, and then obviously it's linked it in. So once you've linked it in, if I go back from here, you should see, if I scroll down, just there, so Oscar. And from here, you can rename it, and you can unlink as well if you didn't want to use it. So what you can do is you can say, show me Oscar.
Sure, streaming the Oscar on living room display.
Now, one of the things to note if you're going to be using it like this is the delay is ridiculous. I've never seen a camera so far. I've done a number of reviews for different cameras, and it's never been literally spot on. So the lag is sometimes ridiculous, sometimes up to a minute. So not really that usable, but obviously the facility is there, so you could just leave it streaming in the background, but you know, obviously it'll be affected if you're expecting something to happen and then you see it on the screen. It will just be too late by the time it actually reaches your screen. The other thing is you can also cast it to Chromecast as well in a similar manner. So literally you can just ask Google just to cast it straight onto that. Okay, so click there. Still going. Let's give it a moment. Show me Oscar.
Sure, streaming the Oscar on living room display.
There you go. So one of the things to note, obviously when you're streaming there is a massive delay on this. So if I now lift the camera, let's give it a moment to catch up. It should just point straight to the floor here. Now I've never seen a camera so far that I've reviewed that it's like for like. There you go, it's still going. Okay Google, stop. So that's one of the things to be aware of. Obviously the functionality is there, but on the Google Home Hub, obviously there is a big time delay. Now that is a good few seconds, so maybe 20 to 30 second delay. So that's one thing to be aware of. I don't know how usable that can really be for anyone. Obviously you'll miss the event as it's happened. So also to note is that you could also cast to Chromecast. So if you say the magic word obviously to Google and you say cast to Chromecast, it'll actually cast it to that as well. But again, there is a massive lag with that as well. But again, the functionality does work well. I just hope one day they do speed it up so you do see real-time sort of a view on that.
Okay, so this is a recording in the daytime, and I'm about 2.5 meters away from the camera. Just to give you an idea of sound quality, I'm about a meter away now, and I'm about 30 centimeters away now. So should give you an idea of how clear the sound would be when you're listening to someone outside. And picture quality is really good, as you can see.
Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of this Wi-Fi camera. Excellent bit of tech here, have to admit. I like the fact that you don't have to rely on the app that they provide. So obviously they suggest to use Clan at Home, but my app of preference is Smart Life, and it works with Smart Life, which is great to know. It works with Tuya as well, just to know, obviously based on the same sort of platform. Picture quality is great, 1080p, two-way audio on this as well. Outdoor camera, obviously all IP rated, so it's sealed up, so you shouldn't get any water in there. Simple to set up and use. In terms of functionality, I like the fact that you've got both the motion detection and sound detection on there. So for instance, if you had this in a porch area, glass was broken, it can alert you that sound has been picked up on this. And together with that, you have got the motion detection. So excellent functionality, and love the fact it works with smart light. Okay, so on the negative points for the camera, one being the fact that you can't turn off the infrared at the front. So reason I'm saying that's a negative point is that if you did have it indoor pointing outdoor through a window, when it's evening time, what will happen, the infrared will kick in because it's dark outside, and it will reflect on the window and you won't see anything. So that's one thing to note. The other one is the build quality. So it does feel okay, but I think outdoor cameras really should be metal. So most CCTV systems for outdoor are. So they're the only 2 points, nothing too major, but just things to keep in mind. There you go. Hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to like and subscribe.